how are we gonna start this thing? So, all right.
Business school, I guess, huh?
Business school, right? Business 101 with Cam Zink. This series is going to be a really fun one where we talk to high-achieving professional mountain bike athletes who've got a penchant for business. Cam, you got to be one of the busiest guys on the bike and off the bike. Real high flyover. Besides being a pro rider, what are your other avenues of business, income, and what are you doing with your life?
I don't know, I've always been drawn to, I don't like the word, but entrepreneurship, businesses. My dad had a t-shirt shop and, amongst other things. So I was always drawn to that from a really early age and looked up to other business owners and founders and entrepreneurs. But I don't know. It's almost like it was something innate of I didn't have some mentor teach me like you need to think beyond. But it really started with knee surgeries when I had a lot of downtime, and I was like, I need something to fill this void with my time, put my energy toward, besides just physical therapy. And at that point, I had helped with some product development, things like that. But the biggest asset of being a pro rider, if you can pay attention, is the amount of knowledge you're privy to of team managers and R&D and marketing and meeting CEOs of they weren't billion-dollar companies then, but like SRAM being a couple billion-dollar company, and soaking it up. So I guess just kind of just naturally filled the void for me. Started Census, started working on it in 2009 in the middle of knee surgeries, and when I was essentially half the year off the bike, half the year on, 6 months for a knee surgery recovery, and really enjoyed it. It's super time consuming, but it's something that if you enjoy creating something and watching like a baby grow, kind of, even though Census has always been a bit of a side hustle, because still full-time rider the last 10 plus years that I've been doing it, but it's essentially put me through business school, right? And then that gave me enough credibility to where when I got in YT and they had the franchise model for how they were going to expand for the rest of the world. I was like, well, who is doing North America? And I convinced Marcus to let me run it. I don't know. It just it's like leveling up, right? Same thing you would in riding. You take the same grit and perseverance you've had of learning how to learn a trick, learning how to apply it, get it dialed, take it to the event, do it when it matters, and just the perseverance of that, just trying to apply it to something else. And in the back of your mind, as much as McCall and I used to think, like, shall I live for today, we would, you always know in the back of your mind that it's not forever, and you'd have to start planning. And I honestly think I started a little early with Census, because we don't have the perspective of time when we're, 20, 23, 24 years old. But at the same time, that's the way it went, and just started diving in and learning. And from really early age of like right after I bought my first home, I bought another home for rental, always side hustling, always trying to create. Now I've done full teardowns with a good friend, and flipped houses. Currently have my second spec home, so bought a land, built it from scratch in Tahoe, and renting out our other house. And beyond just the business side of like creating a brand and selling products, like always trying to find another source of revenue. And before kids, you have way more time, and now with kids, I have never enough time in the day, even no matter how early I wake up. But this next project, sit next to me, won't be bootstrapped, and that one I already have some very qualified people helping me, and I think this one will be the business we'll have our fantasy factory back we kind of had with YT, and Census Rad Trails, trail building under one, Census and Zink Bikes all under one roof.
Yeah. So yeah, you're not just pro rider. You've got Census components and products, Census Rad Trails, which is a nonprofit trail building, and then real estate.
Yep.
And soon to be a frame manufacturing company.
Yes.
Which is you're gonna have your hands full if you don't already, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at someone like Elon Musk or something would be the pinnacle of it, right? Like, how does one man have the ability to manage 3 of the largest brands in the world and most impactful brand. You're like, all right, I can deal with a grip, like grip, pedals and seats, and
Yeah.
some trail building and a frame and ride. And I'm in a good position with riding too, to where I can pick and choose and kind of the back 9 of the career, you know, and I really only care about one event. So that alleviates like all the slopestyle contests and trying to create as many edits and commercials for Michelin and Monster as I can. But get in a position where I can pick and choose a little bit more,
Yeah.
but then still compete at the highest level on like the only one that I really care about. And that frees up some time, but dude, it's still, as you get older, it becomes harder and harder to feel as good on the bike to where you could compete at the highest level.
Yeah.
So that is another challenge in itself. And then you're like, all right, the kids are the most important, so they get the most time. And then it's
Everything's like follows down a chain of priorities now.
100%.
And the older you get, the less, like you said, the hours of the day just seem to speed by way faster.
Yeah, yeah,
But, well, you mentioned Elon Musk.
yeah.
Who are, I guess, business mentors or people, like we talked about Rich Dad, Poor Dad a little bit, like
Yeah.
what were, I don't know, philosophies, books, people that have inspired you or taught you things that really stand out?
Shout out to Kathy Sessler. That my first pro contract was the original syndicate, and she was team manager / team mom. And she got me Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was like 18, amongst other books. And it was a real good, like almost like a second mother mentor. And but my dad inspired me. He was hustling, had a t-shirt business, screen printing, embroidery. First time, the only like kind of job I ever had was working for him here and there, making some side money, but because I made money from riding pretty early on. But I don't know, I've looked up to like Pablo Tafoya from Corsair Bikes. He's actually helping me a lot. Doesn't want anything to do with the bike industry, but he's down to help me. But yeah, there's a lot of people along the way, man. And I was saying, is these groms, if we could tell you anything while you're growing up, you're not unqualified and you're not just a pro rider. You don't have any life skill. Just pay attention. You are privileged to a lot more knowledge than you even realize if you can pay attention. Creating a new knee pad with a brand, watching logos develop, you don't have to even know the financials yet. Just try to work out some spreadsheets the best you can. But you're soaking up all the other things that aren't necessarily what you think of as business 101. But the other thing is just time, man. Find the time, carve out some time, read as many books as you can.
That'd be the biggest insights for you if you were to pass it on to somebody.
Just pay attention, soak
Okay.
it up. There's a lot of information, opportunity that as long as you're paying attention and asking questions, and don't the worst question is the one that's unasked, right?
For sure, man. All right. And for people that are interested about a frame, can we talk about that yet? Where do they go to get some information?
Yeah,
Can they sign up for a newsletter to get on the list for the first 200 frames?
Dude, this is honestly working. Like I wanted everything to just kind of unfold naturally and get a little bit of hype and have people seeing the bikes and ask questions. So this is like the first formal like announcement of it. So we'll be working with a branding agency right now to make things a little more fine-tuned. Otherwise, it would have already been up for pre-sales right now. First production run is being made right now for the trail bike, and the downhill bike this is my first proto for the downhill bike. That'll be next year, and this will be the bike I'm on at Rampage. And last year was arguably the greatest day of my life, having my kids old enough to be cognizant and bring them on the podium, but have them remember it. So showing up as returning champ on my own bike is like another kind of full circle moment. And yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. But yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit more for the formal
Okay.
launch, but it's coming and it'll be a little more fine tuned. And it's been working on it for 4.5 years now, all in the dark, while riding for other brands, right? And like, no conflict of interest and not launching or promoting
There
it.
goes another little MTB entrepreneur.
Yeah, T-Mac just rode by. He's got an Airbnb, and
Stay tuned for a future episode with him.
yeah, he's got a kid walking behind us too, and
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
helping doing some trail development with Zion Mountain Ranch.
Yeah.
Tourism
We were just talking. We were talking on the trail lift today about trying to get rad trails to help facilitate a new bike park in Hurricane.
Okay.
We got trails Jackson Hole and North Star and all over, but yeah, the ones that hit home the most are like the one in Lahaina we got going on.
Very cool.
So that one, and then one that every mountain biker that in our realm visits Hurricane, Utah, and Virgin. So to have a bike park there would be impactful,
awesome.
and like it's like building churches or something, like churches of rad all around the world.
Very cool. Right on, man. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And,
Thanks for the time, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. We were talking a minute ago, but one of the coolest questions or compliments I got was from a really young kid. He's probably 14 or 15, asking about entrepreneur advice and how does he get things going. So it's cool when people take notice of that stuff, because usually it's just, oh, that backflip was crazy or something. So good to hear the kids are interested, and that hopefully this interests a lot more kids to think outside the box. And making a living riding a bike is incredibly difficult, and as it's not going to last forever. So start young, soak it up, pay attention, read a lot of books,
learn CAD, buy that 3D printer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I had to learn a little bit of CAD, and it's like another time consuming, but you have a new skill.
There
it's
you go.
like, yeah.
Right on, man. Well, good luck. Excited to try one of these bikes out soon.
Yeah, man.
Thanks again for the
I'm
time.
excited for everyone to see them soon.
All right.
Cheers,
Well,
brother.
Good to see you, buddy.